What's up, everybody? It's Loudmouth here. It's your boy Tim.
And always the real Ron being real over here on the
real
right,
Ron Ron.
on the right side.
Yeah. The real Ron and the fake Ron. So we got everything set up here. Now, today's episode is going to be a little different, and we'll give you a bit of a warning. Looks like my producer is sending me a message. Let me check it real quick.
Yeah, make sure we don't want to piss off the producer there.
Yeah, don't want to cause any problems. Okay, I know how to do it. Good Lord, Microsoft, stop.
Well,
oh my God, close.
Sounds like good stuff there.
Oh, it's a meme. All right, producer, you're fired.
Oh, they sent you a meme?
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it me getting pegged or something? I mean, what?
Physics teacher. What's the answer to question 4? Me, 48. Physics teacher. 48 what? Meters. Potatoes? Plus, you're wrong. The answer is 54. Me, 54 what? Meters? Potatoes? I don't get it. Maybe I'm too old.
Maybe we needed some visual. Okay.
Yeah, there was a picture involved, but it looked kind of weird. So, today's episode is going to be, you know what? I might help if I use my microphone. I got used to being at home where I didn't have to think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just like right in my face.
I don't like this in my face either because now it's like in my face. I can't.
If this is too loud, let me know in the comment section. But, this is Loudmouth, so you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying?
And we ain't getting paid.
That's right. So it is what it is. Today's episode is going to be a little different. It's going to be more of philosophical discussion between Ron and I. We do have a couple of topics to go over, but also have we decided for sure on how we're going to do it moving forward?
I think we've decided.
Okay. So this will be our last show in the office. It's just a long drive to get here. It really is.
We both live in the Owasso,
right.
And this is in South Tulsa. So going forward, we might find a space around the Owasso area.
Right.
But I mean, with Joe Biden being president, gas is over $3 a gallon. It's hard to get down here and afford this. So
I mean, once Trump gets in the office in 2024, it's going to drop down to 20 cents a gallon.
When Trump gets into office and gets rid of the trash, he comes and cleans out our trash stuff. Then maybe we can come back to an office studio. But right now I'm buying Joe Biden gas. And it's trash.
The only downside is that Trump is going to have to try and buy back all of the classified material he sold to the other countries.
God. Anyway, speaking of trash, do you have something to say about some trash over there?
I do, and it was, oh my God, it was really bad this weekend. Something died in my trash can and it was so disgusting. And I was like, I really need this service. They come out to your house and they will deodorize and sanitize your trash bins. Starts at $20 a month. They work the Owasso, Claremore,
worth it.
Broken Arrow, Bixby, Jinx, Verdigris, and Glenpool. So if you don't like cleaning your trash bins, and I don't think you do either.
I don't think I've ever cleaned my trash bin.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
nasty.
Mm-hmm.
But these people come out and they do it for you. It's like the trash trucks. They come up, they pull up, throw it up on some arms, spray it with some chemicals, which are ecologically safe.
Yeah,
I don't give a
eco-friendly.
shit about that, but
some people do. And they take the nasty water with them, though they do also wash the outside. They have a high pressure spray hose and they'll get the outside of it too.
What's their number?
It's Royal Bin Cleaning. And let me go ahead and I'll just put that up on the screen right now. You can text Loudmouth to that number right there, 918-855-4322. And they will send 20% of your first service back to us in support of what we're trying to do here, which is prevent a civil war in this country.
And, Loudmouth. Just type that in, or don't. I don't give a shit. But
you should, or you can
get your trash cans cleaned out because the trash cans stink.
Oh man, it was so bad. Every time I walked by that bin, I was like, oh.
When you take
I need Royal Bin Cleaning out here.
Up and you're like holding your breath, trying to throw your shit in there, and
give it the old long arm, trying to drop it in. So there's the website there, royalbincleaning.com. You can use the promo code there on the website as well. So now that we have all the trash taken out already, Did you have anything, or did you want me to start? I think you said you wanted me to start.
Take off, because I know you got some good stuff over there. That
yes, this actually just came to me right before I left.
I can't believe you're going to do this, but I'm game. Let's roll.
No. It might be inappropriate for some viewers. So if you're under 18, please go get your parents' permission before you watch the rest of this. It's not too bad, but it's pretty funny.
It's pretty bad.
So I'm gonna go over here. Now I can't play the video because I didn't set it up where the audio comes through, but there's a picture right here. We'll just do it this way. Let me.
Oh my God, Tim.
Yeah, and you can read that. I'm not going to say it out loud.
I'll say it. What's it say?
Say it. Just say it wrong.
Wrecked semi shoots load of dildos and lube all over I-40.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because
that's breaking news on Channel 9. That's the headline.
Yeah, this is in Oklahoma City. So when they're doing the video,
that was so wrong of them. That semi did not shoot anything.
No. So this is based off what the reporter on the site said. If you watch the video, he says, "We've got an overturned semi. Looks like he's lost his load all over the interstate." And then the female is like
on live TV.
She's like, because they're trying to, on live TV, because they've got a helicopter going and flying over, trying to get a zoomed in image of it. And she's like, it looks like, and then she stops. You can tell she realized exactly what it was, and she didn't want to say it. Oh man, it was so good. But this comment section is really why I wanted to bring this.
Are you gonna read some of the comments?
Oh yeah, no. So hopefully I can get to the good ones soon, because it was pretty hilarious.
This is real life, people. I mean,
this is just people being
in the middle
silly.
of Oklahoma.
Hopefully, hold on. Let's see. For some reason, I have to hit show more every time I scroll down.
Oh my gosh.
Where is it? Yeah, semi overturned and lost his load. That's what the guy said. That's what she said on the real time. Just wondering if you knew what mile marker on I-40 this happened on. Imagine if the driver died. Johnny Cash voice. I was a highwayman. I was trucking dildos long and wide with the lube so it can slide. They say I lost my load on that dusty road, but I'll never go.
Oh my God. Why do I live in the middle of Oklahoma where they ship dildos across I-40?
Oh my God. Okay, so here's a little poem. This one, the best one of all, putting the O in Oklahoma.
Oh my God, that was good.
Oh man.
And I didn't believe that there was lube associated with this, but there actually was. It was
yeah, no, it was.
Where there's one, there's one.
Here's this comment says, I pulled up the article and they seriously reported, quote, the accident prompted the rubberneckers. Oh man.
Oh my God.
No, yeah, he just keeps going. I probably spent 15 or 20 minutes just reading through the comments.
This is the gift that keeps on giving.
This is why I love Twitter to a degree, because when something like this happens, it's just hilarious.
I'm still kicked off of Twitter. Yeah, from my good account.
Oh, you need to get that email worked out.
No, it's not my email. I appealed the ban. So until they decide if I'm banned or not.
Oh, right.
I'm just out.
Yeah. Here's one. Semi-carrying dildos. Merging is hard. Semi-carrying lube. That's what she said. Hopefully there's another truck coming from behind carrying a load of batteries. All right. That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough dildo jokes.
That's good stuff, though. So
was my
check that
wife on scene? Oh, sorry. No, my bad. I didn't say which ex.
And there's another one. I think Ron and I actually agree on this one a little bit. This lady, her son, she was 10 weeks pregnant.
Oh my God, you're gonna get me in trouble with my Republicans.
Well, he was diagnosed. I believe it was a he. I'm not 100%. Her name is Nancy Davis. She had to travel 1,400 miles to get an abortion because her child, her fetus, was diagnosed with acrania, meaning the skull was not formed. It had no skull, and it has basically a 100% mortality rate. And in Louisiana, they would not allow her to get an abortion. And I'm like, if there's 100% mortality rate for something, why are you asking these people to bring to term a child that they have to immediately turn around and bury? That is crazy to me.
You ready?
Thoughts?
You ready?
Yeah.
Here's the thoughts from Ron the dad. Ron the dad says, if I knew that my wife was going to be in danger and going to have a baby, that it was 100% chance of not having quality of life whatsoever, 100% chance of mortality, then yes, that is my wife's decision whether or not she has an abortion or not.
Yeah.
If I'm a politician and I'm elected, I'm going to listen to what my constituents say. But personally, I think that I'm against abortion. I don't think that you should be killing babies. And I'm also against taking away individual rights from a female. I'm a dude. I can't ever get pregnant. Who am I to say what a woman can or can't do with their body?
It's a great point.
I'm out on that topic. I'm going to support my wife, whatever she wants to do. Basically, is where I stand.
Yeah.
I know that that's not the Republican, conservative, Christian values, but
Ron, it's okay to disagree with them on something. It's okay.
And I'll tell you another.
I'm more liberal, but I tell you what, there's a lot of crap that I do not like about the.
Do you know a Democratic senator that voted to make abortion illegal in Oklahoma last session?
No, I'm not aware.
JJ Dawson.
JJ Dawson. Well, like I was saying, not much of a Democrat.
So it's more of a personal issue to me.
Yeah, I mean it should be. And you know, when this first happened, I actually, you know, because I never really thought about abortion much because I'm a dude. I'm not going to be put in a position where I have to make a decision like that. And I think that it should be left up to the mother, either a terrible situation or was raped or, you know, whatever the case is. That's between her and her doctor and her God.
Let me ask you this, just playing devil's advocate. You got a 20-year-old going out to the club every other weekend, not protecting herself. She has 3 or 4 abortions. Where as a society do we stand and we say, that's probably not right?
I mean, that's probably not normal. Probably not the norm. I would say most abortions probably don't go that way. And you're always going to have people that take advantage of something, no matter what it is. You know what I mean? So the benefit to me of having that option available overweighs the fact that there's going to be a couple of individuals or whatever, a section of the population that will take advantage of it and use it as birth control. I mean, because, you know, abortion is not something that women take lightly.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I've talked to women that have had abortions and none of them liked it. None of them, they, you know, it was it's an emotional
still
thing.
Bothers them to this day.
I mean, there's something about, I mean, I can't ever understand because a child will never grow in my womb. I don't have a womb, at least not that they've diagnosed yet, but we're still working on that. So I don't know what that bond feels like, but I believe women are extremely traumatized by that, and it is not a decision that they take lightly.
I'll just say this.
Most women.
I'll just say this because above everything, and we've had this conversation, we've gotten fights about this before. Above everything, what you think doesn't involve how I live my life.
Right.
So if I was to get pregnant tomorrow, I don't give a shit what you think.
Right.
If I want an abortion, I'm going to have an abortion.
You know, sales of clothes hangers probably going to go up.
Well, and that's what happens. And people come at me and they're like, well, there's people out there that can't have children and they want these babies. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell a woman that she has to have a baby.
Right. It's kind of weird.
It's like me telling you that you have to wear a mask,
yeah,
or that you have to have a vaccine.
It's a little different than that, but
it's
the vaccine is a little closer, but the mask is.
It's about individual rights.
Well,
choice.
Yeah, but you're talking about something growing inside of you versus something that you put on your face. It's apples and oranges. But either way,
I'm glad we're talking about. My mother and father taught me that you should never talk about abortion or religion with people.
Yeah, well, but we're loudmouths, so we like to push buttons and make everybody feel uncomfortable.
I wish they had not taught me that, because I think that's why we're in the predicament we're in today. Is people were told not to talk about these things, so everybody all of a sudden decides, oh my gosh, this is how I was raised.
Man, that's such a big decision for a woman to make. I don't know that she'd want to talk about it. You know what I mean? I think most women probably don't. I'm sure there's a lot of shame that's involved in that.
How can a man even come into that conversation, though?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can talk about it from the outside, but this is a perspective of me. I have no say in what that person does to their body. I'm not.
That's where I'm at. I'm not ever going to be in that position, so I can't speak to that. All I can do is support whatever that woman wants to decide.
Right.
And that's that woman's decision.
Yeah.
And then they come at me. They're like, well, if the man doesn't want the baby or does want the baby, he doesn't have a choice in the matter.
Right. I mean, that's.
But he has to pay child support if she decides to keep the baby.
And there is an argument to make where men, I don't know that the word should is correct, but where they should be allowed to financially abort. If a female is able to abort without, bringing the decision with the dad, but again, it's her body. It's growing in her body. That's right.
You're talking about an individual's rights versus their financial rights.
Even if I understand that point, I still am having a hard time wrapping my brain around saying you have to bring this child to bear that, you had an option to get rid of. Now it's a lot harder, but which brings up another point. And a lot of people, they didn't overturn it, right? They didn't say that abortion was illegal. There's states' rights. That was the argument that was made. It really, really pissed me off at the time because
let's talk about that, because we talked a little bit about it earlier.
Yeah. No, I'm going to get into that. Because at the time I knew where it was going, because they've already tried it before, where you can punish somebody, as a crime for traveling to get an abortion. So now you're going outside the realm of states' rights and saying, no. We own you. We own your body. We own every part of you. And the only way that you can get out of this is to literally pack up your stuff and move to another state. And even then, is there going to be an exception for that? Or is it just, if you were here at one point and you move over there, we can put a warrant out for your arrest anytime you show up here.
And that's a real thing, because Oklahoma, I think Senator Lankford he's presented that bill.
Yeah, that's a piece of crap. So, I mean, that goes back to the point where people have argued for some time now that we're all just slaves in a big plantation now, where we don't have any rights. Because think about it. You don't ever own your home. You don't own your land. The moment you stop paying taxes, the government or somebody else can pay them for you and take your stuff. So there's nothing that really is yours.
That sounds very libertarian of you.
I'm quite libertarian. I have some libertarian qualities about me. But if you think about it from that perspective, and then now you've got the state saying, no, you can't travel over here to do this. We're going to
completely agree. There's death taxes.
That's crap. That's nonsense. And that kind of moots anybody who claimed it was a states' right issue. That moots that point unless you come out against it. That's all I can say about that. If you don't want to look like a hypocrite, come out against bills like that prevent people from traveling.
Here's my take on it. And you love me or leave me, I don't give a shit. Y'all know how I stand on stuff. If one of my daughters gets pregnant and comes to me and says, I don't want this baby, or I do want this baby, I'm going to support her one way or the other. If she wants to get an abortion, whatever it takes, I will go and do that. I will. And I'll say that. And I've said that to people my entire life. I am not going to, as a, I don't know why I'm saying white, but as a white man, I am not going to interject my feelings or beliefs onto a woman that has to go through something I would never in a million years be able to go through. I just emotionally, physically, I can't process that.
It's not part of our biology.
But what I can process is making sure that my daughter is supported and she's taken care of as far as healthcare wise. So she's not in the alleyway with a hanger. And
that's what it'll end up turning into for some people.
So I understand. I would, God love them. I want every baby born. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to do whatever I can to make sure every baby's born, but I'm also willing to do whatever I can to make sure the individual rights are preserved. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and this,
and I don't think you're far off that.
This kind of goes back to the religious freedom in this country, because a lot of this stuff is based on religious belief. So, you know what I mean? The not killing fetuses or what have you.
Oh, yeah. But if you got a priest or a rabbi or somebody coming to me and telling me you have to have that baby, even though you were raped or even though your uncle, no.
Yeah, God sent that rapist to you. I mean, that's, you know, everything happens for a reason. He could be the next Albert Einstein, or he could be the next serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
there are. Yeah.
Yeah. So the religious argument, when we start passing laws based on somebody's religion, that we're getting down a real nasty road, because religion is,
if we go down that road, we have to go back to Great Britain.
Yeah. I mean, this
is England.
This is what we were trying to get away from. Where the church was, at one point above the king.
Right. So, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right. So do we want that? I don't want that. I don't want religious crazies telling me what to do. That's for sure.
But you supported the vaccine, right?
No, hell no.
Oh, wait, no.
I supported. Let me
get something on you.
No,
I supported school closures and the mask mandate.
School closures to a degree. What I supported was a pause in the country, because at the time nobody knew what it was. We knew that people were dying from it in China, and we had a lot of information coming in, and a lot of it was bad. Some of it was good. So to me, I'm like, well, this could be really bad. 3 months down the road, people could start dropping dead from heart attacks or whatever. Right. So I was okay with wearing the masks and having mandates for that. And I was okay with having a 2-week pause or whatever to bring down the numbers, because the hospitals were getting overrun. And that was really the problem, because then it's not just affecting COVID patients. Now it's affecting people that are having heart attacks or other things completely unrelated to that. And that's why I supported those closures. But I figured 2-3 weeks max should be enough to drop it down. And it was, because we did that and the numbers came back down. But other than that, obviously we can't keep doing that, but it's like targeted use of these tools to keep everybody safe. Of course, then they started, pushing this vaccine crap down everybody's throats. And I'm like, no, there's a big difference between injecting something into my body that I don't want and me putting a mask over my face. There's a huge difference between those two, in my opinion. And I draw the line there. It's like, no,
well,
if you want me to wear a shirt, I'll wear a shirt. You want me to put on a mask? Of course, I was wearing the mask before everybody else was.
And I don't want to take away. I would wear the mask where I was asked to wear a mask, and where it wasn't like, if I wanted to go in Walmart and buy something at Walmart, that's a private business. If they want me to wear a mask and I want to go in there and buy something, I have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I understood that. I'm not.
But I will say, though, that there were a lot of really terrible people that came out during that, because like my dad, even, or my sperm donor, I should say, he came over to the house one day, and he knew that we were all just, kind of bubbled away in our own little world. And he came over and he starts like coughing and stuff as he's coming at us like
purposely.
Yeah, purposely coughing.
Funny.
Right. And
that's shitty.
Yeah, I told him to get the fuck out of there because I had workers that come and go doing that to me. As a matter of fact, I had a dude walking in front of me because I go in this come and go all the time and I buy NOS. They all know me. They call me the NOS man, right?
Yeah.
There's the blue NOS guy. And so he knew exactly where I was going. He follows in front of me, coughing the entire way, and then goes to the door that I'm going to open, just stands there, looks at it, coughs all over it, and then turns around and laughs and walks away. I swear to God. Of course, I'm just like infuriated by this.
Yeah.
And I've had people stand next to me and cough in my face. I've had people grabbing all of the items in my shopping cart at Aldi's. Yeah, this old lady, the dude, her husband had to stop her. We were in Aldi's and she's like,
just fucking with you?
Yeah, grabbing, touching all the stuff in the cart.
What do you attribute that to? Because I never had anybody do that to me.
That's
just because you were wearing a mask or you were
right, because I started wearing a mask because I had purchased N95 masks before China even shut down. I seen it coming whenever the reports were coming out of China. So I ordered it because I knew we were going to run out, and I ordered quite a few of them. But I ordered the good ones, those cloth masks. Those things don't work. That's like a, to make you feel better.
At the height of the pandemic, my wife, who works at the ER, they were out of mask.
Yeah,
but we would go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, and they actually gave her the industrial respirator stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, gave it to her.
Yeah, I even bought a bio suit. I've got a full suit, like one of those that zips up.
That's too much.
I never wore it, but I bought it along with all of the other stuff because I'm like, man, this could be the plague. This could be zombie apocalypse coming. I don't know.
Do you think abortion is, and I'm asking this as almost a rhetorical question, but do you think abortion is a political ploy for election years?
I think it has been used that way. Yeah. I think Republicans more so, just because they know that their base really wanted it.
But you could say the same thing about Dems because the Dems don't want it. So,
right, but it was a right. It was a right at that point. But every election cycle, abortion would come up. They would pass, try to pass laws. They had trigger laws where if Roe was ever overturned, the law immediately would start. So the Dems knew that this was coming if it ever came.
Donald Trump told them years ago when he was elected.
Yeah. So then when it came, I mean, it wasn't really a surprise to anybody. But think about that. You set a precedent and it goes on for what, 60 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then they keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And everybody says, no. Because I don't even believe that the majority of people think abortion should be illegal. I don't believe that the majority do. I think it's
down
slight,
individually.
Yeah.
You would
and especially not just a blanket ban on abortion also where, even if you're raped, I mean, I think most people would agree that there are circumstances where it should be allowed.
And I've talked to religious people and they even give me that.
Yeah. I wonder if Ryan is, not that it matters because he's running for state superintendent, but I wonder if he is one of those blanket bans or, if he believes there should be exceptions.
I don't know about Ryan personally, but I believe that if you're a Republican in the state of Oklahoma and you're running for office, you cannot say
right
that you agree with abortion. I mean,
yeah,
that goes for all of them.
Yeah, it's political suicide.
That's why I was asking, do you think it's a political ploy?
Yeah, I mean, but see, now here's the thing. They got it passed. So now what do they have? They have CRT. And they have, this fearmonger about education and stuff. So that's now what they're going after.
Who is?
Republicans.
No, could you be more specific? You said CRT.
Well, that whole CRT thing, right? The whole CRT.
They're fear-mongering about
rhetoric.
CRT?
Correct. Yes.
So you don't think CRT is being taught in schools?
No, I think CRT, I think that in and of itself was created to scare the crap out of Republicans and to get them to go out and vote.
Huh.
Yeah, just another, like we said, dog whistle.
So you never heard of 1619 Project?
I mean, I've heard of it. I haven't read it. Yeah. But let's think about it this way. What is your line in terms of what we're dealing with? Because schools aren't trying to make students feel bad.
I don't know that. That's my line. My line is, if I send my kid to school, I want them to come back and be able to read me whatever book they want to read that I'm allowing them to read. I want them to do whatever math they can do. And I want them to teach me how to build a volcano out of baking soda and vinegar. And I want them to be able to tell me that, yes, the 1921 race riots happened. This is what happened.
Yeah.
And I don't feel one way or another. I know that it happened.
So if in that conversation while the teacher is teaching it, somebody feels bad, should that teacher be punished for that?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like with 1775 and other bills like it in other states, it's so vague that that's potential to happen. And I think
1775 bill is, I've read it. It is vague.
Yeah,
but it's specific to no instructor of public school is to make a student. And that's where I end up with, because if the kids want to talk about feeling bad, that's their business. But for the adult in the class to project their feelings one way or the other onto the kids to get that started, that's where I have a problem.
Well, that's why I say I agree with the verbiage of 1775. It's hard to read 1775 and disagree with it.
I mean, it's a good bill.
The way that it's not, because of how vague it is, and I believe there was an underlying purpose behind it.
I'll tell you what the purpose is.
Because they can't come out and say, or at least they've tried it in other states. It doesn't work so well because it makes national news constantly when they try to go into school books and say, nope, we're going to not teach that because that's a racial issue, or that makes America look bad. A lot of it has to do with things that they believe make America look bad. And there is this real big push to push American superiority and, or, Americentrism, if you will. There's to not ever make America look like it did anything wrong. But I mean, let's be honest, if I do something in life that's screwed up, I'm gonna own up to it, right? And I'm going to try and fix that. So it's not like the things that we've done in the past should dictate how we are today or how we view ourselves today. We should use that to mold ourselves moving forward. And if we don't talk about that stuff and people don't know about that stuff, then they're more likely to repeat it.
I don't disagree with you whatsoever. I see America as a child that was born.
Yeah.
And they went through infancy and
we're a very young nation.
We are so young. We're going to make mistakes. We're still making mistakes, but you can't make the new generation responsible for the mistakes of the past generations. And that's what I love about 1775 is that protects my children from the mistakes that their great grandparents made.
But what if it turns out, and let's say hypothetically, because I believe this was the intent of it, what if it turns out that it does affect the way history is being taught? Because, and here, I'll use this as a point because we're already actually seeing it. There was a teacher that had relayed a message to me that she watched the show and she thanked me for giving her the courage to go ahead, and she's an English teacher, to go ahead and use a certain book of Mice and Men as reading material in her class because of 1775, she was afraid to do it.
Was she though?
Yes.
Why? What was the?
This isn't even so. It was through my child, but it's not even my child's teacher. So this teacher actually went out of her way to relay this message through my child. So I don't believe that she would do that in a lie.
Okay, I'm just asking I'm a specific guy.
Yeah. Well, I haven't talked to the teacher myself, but this
what
is
wrong with Mice of Men. Even Ryan has said on his videos
of Mice and Men is banned from some schools. I don't know about here in Oklahoma. I don't know specifically in Oklahoma, but I know some schools across the country. There are several that have banned that book. Why? I can't really think of any reason. But the point is, and this is actually a great example of what maybe it wasn't intentional 1775, right? Maybe this is a complete and total unintended consequence, right? You pass something, you have good intentions.
I know that,
but then it turns out that you're actually freaking teachers out, and they're not sure what to do about it. Apparently she was scared because a teacher had gotten fired for teaching with a library book from the school. I don't know the specific behind that, but this is what's being relayed to me. I'll reach out to this teacher and get more information, but I appreciated the fact that I was able to help somebody, because I think in one of the videos I said, you know what, to hell with that. I looked at the camera. I said, if you're a teacher out there and you're watching, just teach the damn stuff like you would any other time, and to hell with it. If they get onto you or whatever, you know what, F them. You do what you do, because you're there to teach. Don't let the fear mongering or that concern consume you and prevent you from teaching, because if that was the intent, then they've won. If that wasn't the intent, then you're welcome to go ahead and do it.
Here, I've got a brother-in-law that I think is second to my father as far as the most wonderful person on earth. He is a lifelong Democrat, liberal, 30-year plus teacher here in Oklahoma. And we have great conversations, and we've got heated about it. And he texted me and Ryan Walters, and I'll show you the thread if you want me to. It's here on my phone. And he texted both of us, and he said, Ryan, I'm an AP history teacher. How do I teach history confidently with House Bill 1775 in place? And Ryan answered him and said, he actually called him on the phone for 45 minutes. He sent him an op-ed that he wrote about how he teaches contextual history. And they talked, and my brother-in-law actually said, if Ryan's name's on the ballot, I'll vote for him in the general, because I believe in him. My point is my brother-in-law teaches school today.
Mm-hmm.
He's not been arrested. He hasn't had a complaint filed, because there is a way to do it without interjecting your personal beliefs or your opinions onto these children.
I mean, that's, if it works out that way, then that's great. But
it can't work out that way.
It sounds to me like this is kind of like public intox, which is kind of a catch-all issue, where if you're doing something annoying somebody or whatever, they have a reason to arrest you.
And I've addressed this with you, because there was somebody over in Tulsa was like, I'm going to make who was it? It might've been Jerry Griffin, the old man at the TPS meeting.
I don't know.
I don't remember who it was. I don't want to speak out against somebody, but somebody over in Tulsa was going to make it easier for you to fill out a 1775 complaint form.
Mm-hmm.
Like willy-nilly. And when you do that,
you brought this up before,
you take away the legitimacy of that bill and what it was wrote for. You can't just be punitive because you don't like somebody. Either you're going to teach contextual history the way it's supposed to be taught, keep your feelings out of it, or you get a complaint filed. You don't just, I don't like the way that lady's eyebrows look, so I'm just going to fill out a 1775 complaint.
Well, I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and just read these.
Read it, yeah.
The section here, it says, no teacher, administrator, or other employee of a school district, charter school, or virtual school shall require or make part of a course the following concepts. One race or sex is inherently superior to another race or sex. An individual, by virtue of his or her race or sex, is inherently racist, sexist, or oppressive, whether consciously or unconsciously. An individual should be discriminated against or receive adverse treatment solely or partly because of his or her race or sex. Members of one race or sex cannot and should not attempt to treat others without respect to race or sex. An individual's moral character is necessarily determined by his or her race or sex. An individual, by virtue of his or her race or sex, bears responsibility for actions committed in the past by other members of the same race or sex. Any individual should feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress on account of his or her race or sex, or meritocracy, or traits such as hard work ethic, are racist or sexist, or were created by members of a particular race to oppress members of another race. So it's hard to disagree with what that says, right? I mean, I think Republicans and Democrats together would agree that that's, we shouldn't tell somebody you need to feel bad because of something somebody else did a long time ago. But I don't understand how they believe this is going to be enforced. Because I don't see that any of this stuff is being taught in school. I don't see it. Especially like hard work ethic are racist or sexist or were created by members of a particular race to oppress members of another race. I mean, there are topics in history where this is the case. I mean, where that's going to come up. Like, what was the purpose of putting it out there? I think this is pretty common sense.
Right. And you would also think that it would be common sense not to eat a Tide Pod.
Well, I mean, I don't know what that has to do with education.
Because there's warning labels because somebody tried it one time.
So if it happens one time, we need to tell literally everybody in the entire state, well, you can't do that because you could die.
Because it's public school, yeah.
Because you could die.
Right.
No, I'm talking about, so they're going to die from this?
It could alter their life
if they feel bad or have anguish,
you're the liberal. You tell me, why are we pandering to this little small group of people with the LGBTQ community? I can't even hardly say all those letters.
So who in here would feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or form of psychological distress on account of his or her race or sex?
In what regard?
I mean, in general, in school, who would feel that way? Like, what race do you think?
If you were going over the Civil War and slavery, and the teacher said, all these white people kept all these black people in bondage and enslavement, and these are your ancestors. These are people that you were kin to.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't to you and I.
I'm saying I don't think that a history teacher is going to say,
I hope these God they don't.
Points at some white kid or whatever. These are your ancestors.
That's exactly my point. I hope to God they don't. And if they do, 1775 is there to make sure they're held accountable.
Okay. So what proof of it are we going to need?
Hopefully we won't need any proof of it because we have a law that says you can't do that.
Well, I mean, he's using this, or at least he tried to use this as the reason for pulling Boismere's license, but this doesn't actually say anything about.
No, you're speaking out
pornographic stuff.
Tim, I got to call you on that. That's not why he wanted to pull her license, and you know it. He wanted to pull her license because she said, "I know that I broke the law. I would do it again." She's quoted in the story.
That she broke what law? What law did she break, Ron?
Hang on just a
second.
What law
did she break?
And I'll just hang on. I'll pull it up.
Because when it came out, it was HB 1775. She gave a link to a library page.
Tim, is it legal for you to go to a 12-year-old and tell them, hey, here's something that'll get you some pornography? Go ahead and do that.
That's not what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
That is not exactly what happened. No, that is a lie. That is a lie, and I'll call you out on it. That is a flat out lie.
She put a QR code on her wall in her classroom.
That did not go to pornographic material.
Are you serious?
It did not go to pornographic material. You've seen the link. I don't understand how you can sit there and claim that this link went to pornographic material. And besides that, the list of books that were called unbanned weren't even pornographic to begin with. Not all of those in there had anything in that. And these children can go to the public library.
It was a link public library.
It was a public library.
Right. They're not in the public library. They're in a public fucking school.
Okay, here, go to the public library. If she handed out the physical address of the library, would you say she needs to get her license revoked?
Yeah.
Here's the public library. You can go to 102 whatever West 2nd Street, and those books might be here.
Yeah, that's not her job. Her job is to teach.
Okay, I mean that's an extreme opinion. You're welcome to it, but I think
call
it's
me
bullshit.
Fucking extreme, because I don't want somebody in there teaching my kids how to get to pornography. And you yourself have went up to the school and pulled out books off the graphic novel section that shouldn't have been in public schools to begin with.
Yeah,
that are sitting on public library shelves
right now. What did they do?
They pulled them.
They pulled it. Yeah,
that's extreme, I guess.
Right. So what book in that public library?
Swear to God, whatever book you pulled off a Wassel shelf was in the same public. Whatever.
I looked at the unbanned books list
from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
And you found nothing wrong with any of those books.
I don't know. I didn't read the books, but blankets wasn't in there. I don't know what the books were.
I know that the lady that sent the kid with the QR code, that the bullshit parent went up and actually bought the book just to make a point.
Okay.
Which I think is horseshit. She made a big deal out of nothing. But the teacher knew what she was doing. And when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
The link didn't go to pornographic material. It went to a freaking public library. Now we're arguing that teachers should have their license removed if they give the physical address to the public library or the URL, which is a web address.
No, it's the same intent. It's the intent behind what the teacher wanted to do.
It's like, we don't have these books here, but you can check them out at this library. If we're going down a dark path, if that's a problem.
If a teenager walked up to me and said, "Hey, you know where I get some good reading material?" I was like, the public library is at this address.
That didn't happen.
Right. It didn't happen.
You're comparing two different situations.
So if I was a groomer, pedophile, whatever I am, extremist, left wing, whatever, even if I was on the other side of it, and I was like a Trumper forever, and my intent was to indoctrinate that child with some type of literature that I wanted that child to read, and I gave them a specific code that said, "Hey, you can follow this and it'll get you what you need to get." That is intent.
You're creating a situation you were creating a comparison that didn't happen. That's a straw man.
She admitted
that is a straw man, and you're like, create this hypothetical situation that didn't happen and then argue that that's terrible. And I agree.
She admitted it.
If you are giving pornographic material to children, sure, she sent these children a link, or just put it there. She didn't say, go scan this. Right. You have to go scan this. Right. She didn't even say that. It was available to them.
Right.
This goes to a public library.
Why isn't it on every teacher in the nation's wall then?
I don't know.
Because it's bad for kids. It shouldn't be in public schools. And she knew it. And she said she knew it. And she said she'd do it again.
So should you go after the public library?
I don't give a shit about the public library. I give a shit about the public school library.
And the children have to sign up for a library card at the public library. At the public library, yes, which is where that link took them. That's where the link took them. I mean, I don't see how we can state that she gave them a link to pornographic material when that didn't happen.
Then why'd she resign?
Because she didn't want to be a part of it. She didn't want to deal with any of that because she was pissed off, and rightly so, because she knew where it was going. She knows Oklahoma. She knows that this is a religious right-wing state. She understood that, and she said, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it.
Sounds like she knew what she was doing.
No, she was probably sick of it. She was fed up with it.
Then why be here? Why be in the middle of Oklahoma if you know where you're at? Right. Because she knew what she was doing.
No, she knew the reaction that people would have to her sending kids to a freaking public library.
Pornography, yeah.
To a public library.
Yeah.
It was a public library, y'all.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it has graphic novels that shows pornography that I'm fine with in a public library. That's not my business, but my business is my public school library.
Right. I mean, so a teacher, and I mean, you'd said previously that if she gave the physical address to the public library in town, that she should have her teaching license revoked for doing that.
Right, with the intent behind what she did with the QR code.
That's weird to me. Like we're trying to educate children.
Said, no, it's not education.
No. I want my kids to read. If they want to read certain things that is not available to them in the school, I don't see anything wrong with the teacher saying, here is a place that you can get this material, and then leave it between the child and the library, or the child and the parent in the library.
So say you had a 13-year-old son, and I came up to him at a park and I said, hey, go down to your public library. Here's the address. Check out the book Flamer and then come back and talk to me. Would you come talk to me, or would you just let that go?
Did she tell the kids come back and talk to me?
It's on her fucking wall.
So, and did she say, go get this
teacher.
Go get this very specific book? She didn't do that.
Okay. All right. I mean, just two totally completely different perspectives.
Well, if you were in a library or somebody's house or whatever situation, and you're looking for a book and you're like, hey, you don't have this book. Okay. Here's the address to the library. Go check it out at the library. Okay. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I know her intention.
I mean, but her actions, do we penalize people and put them in jail for
we haven't
just an intention?
She's not in jail.
I'm just saying in general. No. Do we punish people for what their intent was or what they actually did?
We imprison people all the time for intent to distribute. Are you serious? Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, but that requires action.
And she put it on the wall. Nobody else has it on their wall.
But she didn't do what you're claiming she did. She did not give them pornographic material.
Okay. I don't give you permission to go into the bank, but I'm just gonna hand you the key. I mean, come on, Tim.
What does that mean? If you own the bank and you gave me the key,
she doesn't own the bank because those are my kids.
Right. And the child can't check any book out until they sign up with the public library.
Really?
Yes. And besides that, you can go online and you can download these books for free. I mean, children aren't stupid. They know how to do these things,
I do. And they don't need any help, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
God, we got a bunch of comments here. What
do we? I have to turn and look. Let's see.
Holy shit.
Because women can't make, here we go. It's Purple Crunch. We'll start here. Because women can't make their own decisions, we need to make or choices effing stupid. I agree. Women can't make their own decisions. Now I'm waiting for y'all to come in and tell me
No, I'm looking at Chaos Seeker.
Interesting time to join right now. Let's see. At work while I'm listening to this. Nice. Thanks for the support. The Tide Pod Challenge is the internet version of natural.
It really is. It really is.
That's funny.
And I've always said, and that's why Tim kicked me out of his group, because I was like, there's too many of us on this fucking planet.
It was during Banned Books Week, and teachers always say where a public library is. Hell, we had field trips there. Yeah, that's true. We had field trips to the public library. I guess we're gonna have to start firing those bus drivers and the administrators to set up the field trips. And
I don't think anybody was fired, Tim. I don't think anybody was imprisoned. I think somebody said, "Oh, I did this."
She left. She didn't want to deal with it
because she was. I think she was sent down here to do that.
I mean, you're getting into conspiracy there. Do you have any? Do you have any evidence of that?
Even Noah was a conspiracy theorist until it started raining.
I mean, we could say that that Ryan Walters was a plant. We could say that. We could say that
he was born and raised in McAlester.
Well, that they groomed him, they indoctrinated him. Charles Koch and the Walton Foundation and all those people.
And Gina. I mean,
Kaiser, we could just make up stuff all day long. We could do that.
Schusterman, they did the same thing with Gina, and we're fixing to start a big civil war.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying.
What was that?
I don't know. I heard something disconnect.
Oh, we're still live on my stuff.
What the hell was that?
Maybe we're getting too loud for the studio.
No, something disconnected. I mean, it might be my. No,
we're still live. Yeah, sorry if we're getting loud and abrasive. This is what we do, though.
No, that's fine.
And we're not mad at each other. We're just like
no, I can't. I don't know. I can't subscribe to that. For obvious reasons. To me, it's obvious to me. Reasons. It's obvious to me. He doesn't think it's obvious,
and it's obvious to me.
I can't see it from that perspective because she did. If she had handed them a Hustler magazine and said, "Here, read this,"
that's basically what the fuck she did, Tim.
No, oh my goodness, no, it's
and
not.
You've looked at every single book in the the banned books of Brooklyn Library.
I went through the list, yeah, whenever right before we went on that show, I went there, and one of the books that's in there, and there were several other ones that had nothing to do with sex at all. It was literally, and Christy was saying it was during Banned Books Week, because there's a segment of the population that every year goes into public schools and public libraries as well and challenges books constantly. We're talking of Mice and Men, 1984, these innocuous books that you and I are like, WTF.
Right.
Well,
so let me ask you this. Why not, instead of posting that QR code on the wall for everybody to see and not understand, being teenagers without life experience, why not send that to the parents and say, if you decide that your child needs to read these books or go to the public library, here's a QR code for you. Why didn't she go that route?
Well, because the kids have to still sign up for a library card.
No, it's because she knew the kids would go there and read them without their parents' permission.
No.
Be real.
No. I mean, I can't speak for what she wanted to happen. But I mean, here's the thing. She's an academic. She's an educator.
Well,
right.
I mean,
she has degrees. So I think in her perspective.
So does Tyler Wren. Tim.
Right. Well, in her perspective, books should be allowed to be read by children. Librarians, the same way. Are we going to call librarians pedos because they want children to have access? Of course not.
No.
Right. Are we going to call them groomers? No. This is their perspective. This is how they believe. So when it pisses them off when somebody comes in and says, no, this book, no, this book, no, this book. It's a little different when you're talking about, just completely explicit material, just images. And that's the graphic novel stuff. I don't get that. But again, this is a public library and those books are in the public library. So I don't see the problem with it.
I do, because I think that it should have been a parental decision.
And that's on the library.
It wasn't. They weren't holding class at the public library. They were holding class in public schools.
Right, but they weren't giving the books out at the school. They were giving the books out at the public library.
If the parent wanted that child to read about banned books or bullshit books or whatever, the parent has the opportunity to take their child to the public library.
Here's another point, is that they're in Oklahoma, and I don't know about if this is true in other states, but I went to the public library and I was trying to find those books that were being questioned by some parents. Flamer, Genderqueer, Lawn Boy. They don't exist in the Tulsa County Library right now because they've all been checked out, and I don't think they're ever going to make it back to the library. So what they have done, these people, is take it upon themselves to take and steal those books from the public library, so to prevent other people from doing it. So that link gave access to books that even in Oklahoma's libraries, and it's a bigger problem in Oklahoma than it is in probably, a northern state, as an example, or an eastern state. So they had books that you wouldn't be able to get here because parents have stolen them. Do you think it's okay to go and check out a library book and intend to never bring it back?
No, Tim, I don't think that stealing is ever okay. Do I think that there are some ignorant ass people out there that are willing to pay to try to remove shit that's going to be put on the next 2 weeks?
Yeah. Well, if they, I
got more money than I do.
I got like $120 fine for a book that, I don't know that they ever replaced the book. So I don't know what the protocol is in terms of when a book doesn't get brought back, but I went to the graphic novel section specifically in Owasso, and it was empty. It was completely taken.
I sent you, and I hate the book topic because I'm not a book banner. I'm really not a book banner. I love books, but I sent you a topic last night. What is Out of Darkness?
Yeah,
remember that title?
Yeah.
And we disagreed. I was like, this book is filthy. But you were like, it doesn't have pictures. It's not graphic.
It's words.
It's just words. And I'm like, yeah, but it's talking about a grown man defiling this young girl.
Yeah. And my response to that was, these are situations that children unfortunately have to deal with.
And my response to that was, my children don't. So why do they have to be subjected to that if I don't want them subjected to that?
Well, you can get in touch with the school and tell them to not let your child check that book out. You can do that. And I'm okay with this. Kind of goes back to a point I'd made earlier where I think it's appropriate to put age limits on books. Where
absolutely is appropriate.
Rated whatever rating they give it.
We couldn't go and check out Hustlers or Playboys when we were 12.
Right. And then at the beginning of the school year, as an example, you could give your child an unrestricted access to all the books at the school, or restricted up to a certain point, or that sort of thing. I mean, it's certainly doable. It's not, granted, you'd have to go back over all these books and have them rated.
Right.
And that's an undertaking all on its own. It's certainly possible, but we do it with movies and stuff. So I don't think I would be opposed to something like that. Because there is material out there that I don't think kids should be reading at their school.
There absolutely is.
And one of those books was Blankets. I mean,
that was horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
I think that what was the one with the Mountain Dew bottle?
It was Flamer.
That was nasty to me. That was too much for me.
Well, that police officer went up there and he looked at the book and he said, it's on the edge, but it doesn't show any explicit sexual content. Because he had said when he went up there, because at this point it was a brick wall talking to the school, because I didn't have the pictures of the book that my daughter had said she read. So I wasn't originally going to go to the police, because I don't really want to do that to my school. But then whenever I talked to them and realized that I was getting nowhere, I decided to go over there and talk to him. He said that he would go and find the book and read it while investigating.
And he did.
Right. And he did, because they wouldn't let anybody access the book because it had been challenged already and was waiting for review. So when it's waiting for review, nobody is allowed to go in and look at the book. But because the officer was investigating something, they gave him access to it. And he read it and he didn't find any crime.
And you believe that?
Yeah, I have no reason not to.
Because OPD, they're good people.
Right. Yeah. So I let that one go. I'm like, well, that's fine, but that wasn't the book that originally had gotten me real pissed off in the first place, which was the one with the urinating and the child stuff and whatever. So but then once I got the pictures of that, well, now the school board, this admin at the school, they were singing a different tune.
They wouldn't even look at it, would they?
Well, the assistant superintendent did. He looked at all of them, but when we went back to the principal of the high school, she got through like 3 of them, and she's like, ugh. And he was like, because he's her boss,
Right.
And he's like, you don't have to look at those if you don't want to. And she didn't.
But they were in the public school library for kids to look at.
Yeah. Right. The book that, of course, mine were just printouts of the pages in the book. And even I felt weird having that because I felt like I was carrying around child pornography.
You couldn't have taken that to a park and just passed it out without getting arrested.
And like I had even thought about taking that to that school resource officer. And I was like, I don't know, man, there's a chance this dude could, get me for possessing child pornography, which is a stupid thing to think about. But
just to come to like an even compromise, I think what it boils down to is parent involvement in public schools.
Yeah.
Whether it's the library, whether it's athletics, whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to know what's going on with your public schools, you have to get involved yourself.
Yeah, you have to. And whoever becomes state superintendent, I hope that the administrators start to allow themselves to listen to parents more because, and I'm going to speak about this at the board meeting on Monday.
Yeah, we're both speaking Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, because I shouldn't have had to get pissed off like I did. I shouldn't have had to go there three times over the course of like 2 days or whatever. I shouldn't have had to do that, but I did. And nobody believed me. They were just going to, we got to protect ourselves thing that they do. And then,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's probably people hating on you on Facebook. I haven't been able to participate in this man's battles online because I'm banned. I'm banned on Facebook.
7 days.
Sunday. It'll be Sunday night, probably Monday morning.
I have to give you props. Tim, I had and I've learned because I've been in jail so many times, and Tim has too, but this dude came at me so hard. Who was it? Zachary?
I don't know. There's been so many.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many.
Zachary just sent you that message. I don't think it was
Zachary's the one told us not to show up in Tulsa.
Right. Yeah. I don't think
it was Zachary. We're in Tulsa.
Yeah. Well, technically not, but whatever.
Yeah. We went through Tulsa. But Tim, this dude was beating me up, and I was like, I can't fight everybody because you know as well as I do, you get beat up from all kinds of different directions.
Yeah.
And Tim went, and this dude was just chomping at the bit to get at Tim too. And Tim's like, "Hey, what'd you say?"
I don't. God, there's been so many of those. I don't know.
Anyway, Tim said something rude, which I do too sometimes. But Tim got banned for 7 days. So.
Oh well, no, that was Zachary. Yeah, I said
was Zachary.
I said, bitch, shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah.
And which
my wife giggled for like 20 minutes. She kept looking at that. I was like, Tim got banned because he said,
yeah. And I get it. Okay. I get why Facebook removed me, but his freaking comment calling me a Nazi and stuff and threatening me if I come to Tulsa is still there.
Right.
And I reported it.
And we have people calling us all the time cowards and this, but if we say coward or you libtard or whatever, immediately they and I have people warning me, Ron, please don't say nothing. They're going to try to get you. Don't say anything. Don't fight with these people. We don't need you kicked off Facebook. Blah 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 blah.
I got another name for Republicans.
What?
Retardlicans. I've never heard that. That just popped in my head. I'm like, that's a pretty good one.
You're gonna get banned.
I probably will. YouTube's gonna give us a community guideline strike.
You can't say the R and the T together, so.
Yeah, but it was one word.
I had somebody on Twitter the other day said, "Don't at me again, fam."
Oh, you're talking about the gangster guy?
The gangster dude, yeah.
No, it's
don't at me again, fam, or what?
I am still on Twitter, which I do like Twitter. Actually, you know what?
Twitter probably works for you because it's full of fucking liberals.
Well, I mean, to a degree, because I got a whole bunch of people from that Ryan Walters thread I did. Right, I ended up getting like 150 followers from this one thread. Well. And then I posted something. I posted something else. It was about the vaccine because you're not going to get. I still haven't taken the vaccine. None of my family members have taken it. And I posted something, and this lady, she's like, "How in the how in the F did I start following this dumbass? She was talking about me. So I get hate from liberals too, because I post whatever comes to my mind, and some of it pisses liberals off, some of it pisses Republicans off. So, I don't hate anybody, but I have my own opinions and I'm welcome to them. It's weird to me how people are so myopic, where you can find somebody highly intelligent in one avenue, but then the moment they say one thing, like one issue, whatever it is, it's different for different people, and they're just, oh no, I can't deal with that guy. I just can't do it. It's so weird.
People take that personally, and they take it as opposition. It's like when I used to run Long John Silver's restaurants and stuff, and people would get so pissed off because some customer would come up and be like, I want 6 tartar sauce packets instead of 2. And they're like, I'm not giving them more than 3. It's not your fucking tartar sauce packets. Quit taking it personally and just
give them the
yeah. You're taking it so personal.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah, and vaccines real touchy for liberals. Real touchy. They get real. They told me I was killing grandmas, which is funny because before, when I was pushing for the masks and stuff and wanting people to wear masks, everybody else was killing grandmas. Now I'm the one killing grandmas because I won't take a vaccine that doesn't work.
I mean, maybe the vaccine works. You just got to have the 8 booster shots after the vaccine.
Well, it works for 10 minutes because you fainted on the floor and you're barely breathing, so there's nothing really coming around.
Let me tell you what works for me.
That's a joke, by the way.
No, I couldn't joke in your group.
Oh, you know what? They may actually.
They probably will.
They may actually get us for talking about the V word.
The V.
And it's not the good V word either.
Yeah, the good moist V word. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that you were.
You just that's fine.
Can they see this? I wonder if they can see this.
Oh yeah. Can they put that up there?
Yeah. Can you get that?
Yeah.
I don't always steal narcotics.
I do.
Yeah. I've been arrested twice, and I have not been secretive about that.
It's funny. I've been arrested twice as well.
Yeah. Who hasn't? If you haven't been arrested, you haven't been living life, I guess.
Of course, the longest I ever stayed there was maybe like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, I was there.
I got out in the morning. Both of them I was drunk.
I was there for a whole weekend, 3 days, Friday night till Monday afternoon, actually. But I went to county and I went to the White House East Room in the same year, Tim.
That's talk about a
roller coaster, son.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to tell that story though. They just want to tell this one about I don't always tell whatever.
That's funny though. The meme. I think Okie Mama is the one that made that.
Okie Mama 86. Yeah. If you don't know Okie Mama 86, clever. Follow her on Twitter.
Pretty good stuff. We got 5 people in the chat room.
Well, no, we don't.
Yeah, we do. That are watching. Let me see. We got. They can't read them without a card. So if the parents didn't allow the card, they didn't get access. And if they had a card, then the parents already approve. That's a good point. The problem with the Brooklyn Library, I don't know that it required parental consent. But again, that would be on the library. Let's see. Fun fact.
Or the teacher that gave them the QR code.
People who have lazy eyes are actually looking forward.
I've always wondered that. Is that true?
I guess so. I don't know.
They're always looking forward, even though their eyes looking that way.
I don't know. Let's see. I can't.
You can't do it with your one eye closed. You can't
Oh man, no! It
don't do that again. God, it feels like you're fixing to murder me.
It took me years to perfect that.
Oh, you do it well.
Yeah. It's like, oh God. It took me years because you get one eye and they both move. It takes practice. Everybody can do it.
Purple Crunch says she is responsible for every book.
So
that's a question.
So she is responsible for every book. Now this is back when we were talking about
the teacher.
Oh, right. That would be the argument.
Here's the argument though. If the teacher intent and Purple Crunch, I love you. You come on every show.
Go ahead.
You come on every show. I appreciate you. Here is my argument to you. If the teacher's intent was just to give the student some literature to read that was controversial, that's fine. But the teacher said that she knew what she was doing when she put the QR code up, she wanted the students to go read the banned books. So that's where, yeah, that teacher is responsible for wanting kids to go do something they weren't supposed to do. That's my opinion. So anyway, I like your hair. I like your hair color though.
We'll have to go soon because I've got a wedding on the 30th and I've got to call the bride tonight. I told this person that I wouldn't be till like 9:30, but apparently she put it at 9, so I've got 30 minutes.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Well, we were having so much fun. Well, we're past an hour. We're at an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh wow, it feels.
We've got so many people in here. I just figured we'd just give the audience what they wanted, which is
we needed to ask.
The fake Ron and the real Ron.
We're not going to do the studio anymore, but did y'all like the studio versus the split screen?
Yeah, let us know in the comment section.
Please do.
Yeah. Which do you prefer, this setting or the split screen or whatever?
What do we need to know what you want?
Yeah. We got to give everybody what we probably should have asked this before, but this is just, it's such a long drive. Like it takes me 30 minutes to get back home.
Oh yeah. And then there was a wreck today down here and it was like,
So yeah, I mean, let us know. And did you have anything else though?
I just wanted to say thanks to the 40 subscribers that keep watching, because y'all are viewing this and you can see it and it's getting spread around. I think it's gonna blow up.
And we even had a teacher watching. So, I don't know the teacher otherwise. So
Ryan Walters has watched us.
Yeah. What's up, Ryan?
He really has.
Keep it real. Keep your Bible at home.
I'm going to have to pull that text message up and show you. Maybe we can do it on the screen or something on our next one.
Yeah, maybe, because I really do need to go.
You're killing my vibe, Tim. You understand?
Well, it's a bride. She's put out a lot of money for it, and I want to make sure I get it. Right. I may actually need to take it.
Is she Republican or is it?
Oh, I don't know.
We take Democrat money too, so
no.
All right, that's all I got.
All right, man. Yeah, there we go. We didn't actually shake the last time.
We didn't shake.
We didn't do the shake. I thought about it right after we were done.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get notified for future episodes. And we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Yes, ma'am, sir.
Possibly Sunday, but we don't know yet.
Sunday. I think Sunday's okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. It'll be a special episode.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you. Peace out.